Hi everybody, welcome. This is Martin Longden, the owner and director of Leading Point. It is really good to have all of you online. We've got this webinar that we've put together on this series over the 5X marketing plan. And we're going to be looking at the first step of the 5X marketing plan, the lead magnet. This is just simply one of the models that we use within our own business in order to help our clients get the results of getting more clients and effectively building a pipeline that then turns into a prospecting and a marketing machine where we've automated aspects of that for them, and then that allows them to focus on what they do really well as technicians and deliver the service that their business is in business to actually do. The reason we've unpacked this and we want to make this available to you is simply because we've had so many conversations and we've had such a large degree of success with this particular system that we've developed. The one key question that we continue to get asked when we sit down with clients and we have a chat to them about what it is that they are looking to improve or increase, pardon me, where their client generation is concerned, and it always comes back down to what is the fundamental cornerstone or the key model that we can use, so regardless of what aspect of our service or which campaign we want to run, we can use the same model and take people through the same sequence or the same steps in order to go from, pardon me, the initial connection to then delivering a result, which is getting people engaged in our service and building our clientele and building our customer base. So out of that key question has come the need for us to be able to be aware of what's the key area that we're going to be able to come up with and perhaps share a little bit more information about our service that is going to be really helpful and beneficial for you. And so we came up with looking at our 5X marketing system, where we're going to give you an overview and dive in deep in specific areas of each of the 5 steps, and we're looking at step 1 tonight, the lead magnet. So then you have a really solid understanding of what that model is, how it works, what the key steps are, what each particular step and its objective is designed to reach for each step, and how you can then go about getting involved in the activities to create the outcomes for each step so you can effectively build your own marketing system, modeling the one that we use successfully. So with that in mind, let's kick off and let's start by asking the question, what is a lead magnet? Now, I know this may seem really obvious, but again, from sitting down and having conversations with our clients, when we touch on this and we ask them, you know, what's your understanding of a lead magnet? Some clients have sort of cocked their eyebrow and, as if to say, well, we're not sure what you mean by that. Other clients have got a fairly good articulate description of a lead magnet. The majority of the clients are sitting in, they've got some idea, but they really don't know. And that might be you as well in wanting to unpack this and really get a lot of clarity around what we mean by a lead magnet. And the reason we look at this as being so important is that the lead magnet is the first of all the 5 steps. If we don't get this right, then what will happen is that the results we get from each subsequent step are going to be a distortion from the lead magnet that we haven't got right, pardon me, in the first place. So we need to be really clear and articulate about what is the correct meaning for a lead magnet. And so let's have a look at that. It covers 4 key components. A lead magnet is really a value chunk, a small, specific value chunk of your service that delivers a very specific solution to a specific problem that your ideal client has. It creates an exchange between the lead magnet or the information, the service that you are making available to your client for them to engage with and learn more about your service and get a solution in the process. And in exchange for that piece of information, you are asking them to opt in to finding more about your service and getting more information around this particular topic in order for them to learn more about what that solution is, how they can implement it, and the results that they can get. It's really important that we think about the lead magnet as effectively being an introduction to the service that you provide and giving them a glimpse through a window. If your whole service is a mansion, the lead magnet represents the window that you want your ideal client to look into to see an aspect of the entire service you provide, so they then get the opportunity to have the best impression of the service that you provide through that narrow glimpse. So when people think of lead magnets, and usually you make that available for free, for complimentary, the reason we do that is because we want to make it easy for people to engage with. And having said that, one of the other challenges that we've had to come across and deal with has been, well, if it's a lead magnet and I'm providing something free of charge, I'll just put something together and bang it together and make it available. And that should do it. And the reality is that it can't be like that. It, in fact, has to be so well crafted and so well put together, because this is the first impression that a lot of your people will engage with. It's imperative that when you create your lead magnet, it is of great quality. It is really good quality. It doesn't need to look fantastic. It needs to look professional. Whatever the level of professionalism is within your service and your industry, that's the standard that you need to create your information to. It's important that you create quality, because as you engage your ideal client with an impression and an exchange of information, that exchange of information must represent, both in its appearance and content, quality to deliver the solution to the problem that they are looking to have addressed. So that's the 4 key components. There's 2 elements that you need to gain out of delivering a lead magnet. And the first one, the key area that you need to gain, is just simply the permission to contact a prospective qualified lead. So this is an initial inquiry that's either contacted you offline via the phone, through a networking meeting, they're responding to a postcard that you may have sent out, or online. You have a landing page or a website they've visited and they've put their details in, or they've made contact with a contact form through your website, and they're requesting information from you that you've made available to them online. The element of providing a lead magnet effectively is to provide permission to contact that potential or prospective qualified lead. So its purpose is to gain permission. The second purpose is for you to create between you and your ideal client this agreement of value, the value that you're representing in your lead magnet, the value that you are creating as an impression, and also going to practically help deliver a solution to address the problem that they have. And the key objective of your lead magnet is to convince them of the value of your service, the aspect of this service that you provide, to deal with their problem in such a specific way that they get an immediate answer, they gain an immediate awareness of the ideal answer to solve their problem, and gain a solution that aspect of your service has created and provided. And also to set them up, and by what I mean by this is in a really resourceful way, is you've now created this expectation. You've created an expectation that you've delivered value, you've delivered a solution, and now they are open to receiving additional content and information around this, either directly or indirectly related to it, where you can then deliver additional detail and value on creating not just a great answer, but a superb answer, and delivering above and beyond their expectations, so that your solution to their problem has the ability to impact other areas of that problem and deliver value over and above and exceed their expectations of what they initially expected to find. That's a key objective. When you do that, and you do that well, you are creating the expectation and sending the message that I know what your problem is, and we've got the solution, but I'm going to give you even more than that, because there are other things that you're not aware of that we are, that when we do this, it's going to prevent other problems arising and effectively solve that for you even before it becomes a problem and give you a good result. All right, so why lead magnets? Why are lead magnets so effective and yet so poorly done at times? And why do they have the impact, why do they have the potential to have such a superb impact really favorably, or a terrible impact if they're not done well? And I'll tell you the reason why. Is because what your clients are looking for are rapid results, and when you're able to deliver something that they can use right now that's really favorable and delivers exceptional value, then you're going to answer their problem with a proven pathway that they can do and they can see themselves doing. And this key is really important. You've got to answer the question, can I do this? With what solution you provide to their problem. It's no point developing a solution that requires you to understand quantum physics at a PhD level to know how to take that information and then figure out how to implement it to get the problem that you have solved. What's really key here is that whatever solution you provide as a specific aspect of your service to solve a specific problem must be easy to understand and easy to implement, so it answers their question, can I do this, with a resounding yes, and it makes it easy for them to engage your content, learn more about it, and then find ways to implement that. All right, so what does a great lead magnet have? And so we've developed 8 criteria of what a great lead magnet has in order for it to be not only consistent and cover things comprehensively in addressing the problem, but also being able to be a vehicle that opens up a doorway for you to deliver additional value and additional information through to really build upon that initial impression and build out the service that you provide. So you're giving your ideal client the greatest potential opportunity for them to learn as much about your service through this one door opening as possible. So let's have a look at this criteria. Firstly, it must contain an ultra-specific solution to an ultra-specific problem. There's no point in being generic or generalized in the information that you provide to solve a general problem. It won't stick and it won't be effectively targeting. And I'll show you some examples shortly as to what you can look for. It won't target a specific problem that a client has in order for them to perceive what you are offering is going to deliver them really, really good value. So it needs to be ultra specific in its solution to a specific problem. It needs to promise one big thing. Around our 5X marketing system, we wanted to promise the one big thing, and that is a model that when you use this and you apply this consistently, will give you a development of your pipeline to consistently attract more and more clients as time goes on. It also needs to speak to a known desired end result. Again, the 5X marketing system is about more clients, helping you to get more clients that are qualified, that like what you offer, that engage with it, that learn more about it, and when the time is right in their buying strategy, in their buying cycle, that they think of your service as the predominant or the best option for them to consider, and then start to engage you in a conversation, and obviously you then take them through your sales process and lead them through that, satisfy their needs, and then deliver the service and an exchange is made. It also needs to offer an immediate gratification. So I touched on this earlier, where when they look at this and they look at your lead magnet, they explore that, and it delivers a solution, an understanding of what the solution is. It also needs to offer them an immediate sense of satisfaction. In that, great, I've got the information, I now know the answer, there's a gratification about that. There's a sense of satisfaction in delivering certainty around a solution that they can then relax and have confidence in, and therefore feel grateful that they've got something that they perceive is value, they implement, get a practical result, and they have a sense of real gratification around that. It needs to move also your potential qualified lead down a continuum of belief. Now let me unpack this a little bit for you and help me, or allow me to help you understand what I really mean by leading them down a continuum of belief. You know your service will deliver the result for your client when they engage you to deliver a solution. When they're sitting down with you and you're exploring, okay, this is what we can do for you, this is how we can do it, and this is the result that we can help you get. And to have them engage you and you deliver your service, that you know that you're going to deliver great results for them. What they don't know right now is that experience. What they're not familiar with is that experience of what I've just shared with you that you know you can deliver for them. They need to go through some educational steps in order to gain a greater understanding of your service, a greater appreciation of it, also experience some what we call results in advance from the things that you provide, and show them how they can implement that to get them results, and to give them small experiences step by step that as they build up then provides the ability for them to reference through multiple small experiences a level of confidence that they, when they say, okay, let's sit down and chat, let's see what you have on offer and put together a proposal or a quote or whatever it might be in helping me to get the solution that you know that I want, and me putting confidence and trust into you to be able to then deliver that and really honestly exceed their expectations when you do that. So it's got to move them down a continuum of belief. In that initial contact, okay, there's something there I've experienced, and it's provided a reference for me that I can have confidence and prove what you've said is the result that I'm getting. I'm now developing belief around your service. So progressively needs to move them down that continuum of belief. It also has to have a high perceived value. So this 5X marketing system that we've developed has generated multiple thousands of dollars in increased revenue for the number of clients that we've worked with over the 2-year period that it's been in place. So for me to share this with you and the equation of what that means in cost for the time that we've invested in creating this would quite easily exceed $400 or $500, very, very conservatively. So you're getting this as a complimentary service. We would value this, say, at around $500. So that would be the value of what it would cost for us to sit down with you one-on-one and then deliver this educational process or this educational package for you and help you understand how you could then apply each step in a specific area of your business to make this work as a marketing model to help you then develop your own pipeline system and attract more clients and get more clients. It also has to have actual value. And by this I don't mean, once again, the monetary value. It's got to have the aha moment. It's got to deliver something that is new, that is fresh, and ideally what you want to look for here is something that you can include within your lead magnet that is going to give people a new way of thinking, a new way of perceiving what they've seen previously with new information and help them to have, oh, actually I hadn't seen that before, but that makes a lot of sense. Or that reminds me of some other things that I've seen, but there's this new thing in there that I hadn't thought about, and I can see how it can be really effective if I include this in what I'm doing with this particular service as well. And ultimately, we live in an information age where there's so much information out there. It's got to be consumed in 5 minutes or less. It's really important that when you deliver a report or you deliver a video or something like this, that you're able to deliver it, say, within 5 to 15 minutes, especially around information service like this particular one. You're learning about a 5X marketing system we use that we've developed, and it's taken us a little while to break it down in fairly simple steps and modules, so we're delivering the essence and the principles of the marketing system without sacrificing the content or the clarity around what we're offering here. So it has to be relatively short. 5 minutes is ideal. People can sit there for 5 minutes, 3-4 minutes and scan information. 5 to 15 minutes in watching a video, reflecting and looking at some additional information is a good time frame to look at. So there's the 8 criteria. So it's got to contain an ultra-specific solution to an ultra-specific problem. Promise one big thing. It's got to speak to a known desired end result, the outcome, not the process, but the outcome. It's got to offer immediate gratification, begin a process of belief and conviction and conversion from that initial contact, have a high perceived value, have actual value in delivering new insight, and able to be easily consumed and understood in a short period of time. So what are some examples? And so I'm going to share with you some examples that have come from work that we've done with clients in helping them to do this, to initially develop or start the construction of their own pipeline and a number of marketing campaigns that we delivered into that. One of the financial services firms that we worked with, they recognized that some of their clients with their own self-managed superannuation funds were effectively trading CFDs, or it's a financial instrument that allows you to trade on the market on a representation of a share. It's quite a complex instrument, but nevertheless, it gives the ability for self-managed superannuation fund holders another instrument that they can trade actively on the market to make a lot of money with. And so what they did, they developed this report that went out to their client base, key trading dates over 2013 with 4% change at a 75% probability or better. Can you see how specific this is? And what it was addressing was a specific problem they recognized in their audience, where they had their audience or their clients, they really wanted to learn how to trade CFDs, but not just how to trade them, when the most opportune times were to trade them. And so within this team of financial planners was a trading specialist, and he was able to utilize some of his knowledge and put it into the simple report, which then opened up a whole new pipeline of inquiries of their clients that wanted to learn more about the mechanics of how did this guy develop these key trading dates for the 4% change, and that's either an increase or a decrease over a 3-day period with a 75% probability or better. Pardon me. Being able to have that level of certainty and have that confidence to make trades around those dates and expect a very favorable result. That got a lot of interest. The next one was for a beautician, nail treatments. And so she recognized that she wanted to open up a service around nail treatments and focus in on something that could really be of value and offer to begin a conversation, to begin a dialogue around the service that she wanted to emphasize and introduce to her core services around being a beautician therapist. And so we helped her to develop 7 daily things to do in 10 minutes to have model quality nails. And so we wanted to make this, again, easily consumable in a short period of time, very specific for some of the inquiries that she had been receiving about how, what are some of the things I can do to strengthen my nails, to have great looking nails. So we helped her to deliver that lead magnet, went out to her client base, and she got, I think, from around about 430 people on her list, around, from memory, 62, around about 2/3 of her client base that was subscribing to her newsletter opted in to receive that report. So that gave her fantastic market feedback to indicate that there is a high level of interest from my list wanting to find out the details around the nail treatment services that we offer. Great way to open up another revenue stream for a business. Life coaches. This lead magnet was a really simple one because we also do a lot of coaching within our business as well. So we're able to help a life coaching firm effectively develop their own lead magnet, which they're also very good at doing, but we just help them get really specific. And again, from their inquiries and the client work they had been doing, it was mainly around about how do I make a really good decision? Regardless of what it is or what life area I'm in, how do I make or know that I'm making a really good decision? So we effectively help them to brainstorm. There's 3 key questions that they put before their clients that based on their answer, they can then educate them on what it is that they know about that particular decision that they're making as to whether or not they've got all the information or they're lacking information, but they may not even know that they don't have that enough information to make a great decision. So we effectively developed a lead magnet that said the 3 key questions you need to answer to know you're making a right decision in any life area. And again, that got a very, very large uptake from their client base. I think this is one of the final ones. Financial planners, touching on the SMSF clients, they wanted to say, okay, we've got a bunch of clients, but we want to be able to attract new clients and effectively create something that everyone can relate to, especially for young families. We want to tap into the young family, the mortgage market, because we understand these guys have a lot of responsibility, a lot of disposable income, and a lot of expenses, and these guys are looking for answers to be able to manage their budget or manage their finances better, and also look for opportunities to pay down their home or contribute to an investment that's important to them quickly and rapidly and build up their net worth. So we sat down with them and we developed the simple 4-step budget system that leverages your income and builds capital for any investment. And when they put that out to their client base, they got, I think it was around about a 23 or 24% initial response. They then followed up with a reminder and a follow-up 14 days later. And out of that response, for the remaining people who had not initially responded, they picked up, I think it was around about a 20% response. So all in all, it's around about a 40% response from their initial inquiry list that they had developed from doing another campaign, where that said to them, there's 40% of this list, I think around about 1,200 people, that have an initial inquiry about a budgeting type of system, this 4-step budget system that leverages our income and helps us to build capital or save money for any investment, whether it's a home or an investment property or shares or whatever it might be. And that created some really good ongoing initial discussions that have then turned into clients for them. And we work out of Melbourne. This is for a Perth financial services firm. So no matter where you are, If you're listening in from overseas, you're watching this from somewhere else other than Melbourne, Australia, know that we can do this, or you can do this, utilizing this information regardless of where you live. Okay, what have we got here? Finally, this is the final one, the training company. This is an IT training company, national presence, and what they wanted to do was to effectively create a unique point of difference amongst other IT training companies, and then go to all the HR and the P&C people and culture and the training managers across the type of companies that fit a particular profile and criteria, and connect with them, and effectively have them engage with a particular topic of interest. And so we helped them develop the lead magnet, the training format guaranteed to achieve learning retention and drive your training costs down. They identified one of the main challenges with HR or training managers was sourcing training content that not only was good in its quality and its content, but effectively taught in such a way to help participants retain what they learned, so they weren't forgetting what they learned after 4 weeks and then having to go back to their workbooks with a fuzzy memory and forgetting half the stuff that they sat in the classroom over 1 or 2 days, learned about, and then within 6 weeks or 2 months forgot what it was that they were taught. And so therefore, 6 months down the track, they're putting in another request to do a refresher course. So they found this really attractive. They found it useful because they wanted to look at a different training format to help them get a different idea of what it was that they could then deliver in value for their stakeholders, for their department managers and their team leaders, that enabled their staff to sit on a training course within a particular training format that we actually help them to deliver, the proprietary training format, which we've now trademarked, and effectively help them to deliver such a great training experience that their clients were coming back recommending other staff and also suggesting their suppliers who probably would be interested as well. So it really opened up the development of a great pipeline for them. All right, so what's your next step from here? You'll see the worksheet below that you can access, and you can also utilize that worksheet to develop an outline of your own lead magnet. Feel free to go through this video, watch it again. This is being taken from a webinar that we're doing for an audience that have expressed an interest in looking at our marketing model, learning more about it so they can then learn how to implement it. You're catching the recording of this webinar and you're watching the recording that we've made available on our site for you to learn more about our system. So go ahead and download the worksheet, complete the worksheet, take the time to do the work and find out how you can create your lead magnet, what that could look like in representing a specific solution to one of your ideal clients and your market's specific problems that you're aware of from engaging your market and having client conversations. The additional resources that we're also going to make available for you will help you to develop what the work that you do out of your lead magnet into something tangible as a product, a lead magnet product that you can then use in your own business, and we've created a system of follow-up emails with some information attached to them to be sent to you over the next 2 to 3 days, so look out for those. Well, that pretty much wraps up step 1 of the 5X marketing system. Thanks again for your company. It's been great to have you. And again, if you have any questions, send those into the chat box and I'll answer those after we've finished off this webinar. And we'll take time, probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes, to cover off some of those questions and provide the answers to those of you that want to stay on the webinar, to engage in the webinar and find out a little bit more in specific areas. Type your questions into the chat box now, and then I'll be going through the list of those questions, and then I'll be addressing those and keeping you online and engaged live as we look at those. For those of you watching the videos or recording this webinar, we're going to wrap this up for you right now. Thanks again for your company. Be sure to look out for the next email, the link to the second video, the next step, which is looking at the buyer gate. This is your tripwire. And this is the strategy of getting people not only to engage in your lead magnet, but then to follow up and make an inquiry in such a way that you're going to deliver something that they can access, that they really, really want, and that you've created exactly for that purpose. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for your company. And now we're going to switch over and go to addressing some of these questions here.